Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Hardcore Heroes. How are you guys doing today?
You want to go first, Sean?
Yeah,
You
sure.
can feel the
just,
death in his voice.
Yeah.
He's had it.
Yeah, I mean, I have done very well. I took 2 exams yesterday, but that was, it's not like I live an exciting life. Oh, I am working on getting through the Labyrinthian in Elder Scrolls Arena. Fuck that game. I made such a mistake. I was like, I'll play through all 5 Elder Scrolls games. It'll be great. Arena. I made a mistake. I'm in too deep now. If I quit now, it's like I admit defeat, and that's not going to happen. But I hate that fucking game. I made
Elder Scrolls Arena? I'm not familiar with this
the first
game.
one, the original one,
Oh,
from like
okay.
1994, or something like that. Oh,
Is it
God.
just a bad game, or is it just so dated that it's hard to play?
I can play Daggerfall, right? I like Daggerfall. Arena is a mix of like dated and just it doesn't have any of the interesting features that Daggerfall did. It's a straightforward story. The character creator is kind of mediocre. The combat is infuriating sometimes. Oh, and the Labyrinth, it has like a bad map, and the Labyrinthian's like, so we have a map to get you through these dungeons, but now we're going to make it 3-dimensional with the Labyrinthian, with all these weird tunnels that go up and down, and the map is totally 2D. So your map is basically useless now, and I'm just lost in that fucking place.
Oh, poor man. Ugh. It goes
Okay.
Arena, Daggerfall,
Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim.
Morrowind. Okay, that's the third one. I only started with Oblivion, and I didn't really play it much. I would play around for a little bit, but I think I ran into the same problem a lot of people did, where you like do a bunch of side quests and then you can't do the main quest anymore, and you're just screwed.
Yeah.
And that was my
I did the
experience
same
with
thing,
Oblivion.
yeah. I did do a shitload of side quests though.
Yeah.
No, that was Oblivion's whole MMO was it had really good questing, but pretty mediocre exploration.
Mm-hmm.
And then Skyrim did exploration pretty decently and had really bad quests and dungeons and gameplay and writing and everything.
I felt the same thing with Fallout. Like, I don't think that Fallout 3 or whatever it was called had good quests. Like, I used to just wander around for ages, like, looking for quests. Whereas in Oblivion, you just find shitloads all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
My turn, is it?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Yeah.
All right, well,
You guys
it's
are
not
in
been
the
a
wrong
great week.
places. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I just ended my video by mistake, Sean. Do you
No,
wanna-
it was that way to begin with. Sean, can you kill your video for a sec? I didn't even realize you guys were in the wrong place.
There we go.
All right, turn it back
Turn
on.
it
We're
back
good.
on.
Woo.
All right. Well, it's not been a great week. So you might think that I'm talking about Brexit, but as well as that, my flat was broken into last Saturday. Not much got stolen, but it's kind of just shitty. So I've been dealing with that, and then I wake up this morning and this fucking Brexit vote. And then on top of all of that, I work in finance, so like today was just like the most manic of days in work. So it's like dealing with the aftermath of like leaving the EU, but then actually having to like do shitloads of work and tell all my clients that it's going to be all right and not everything's all fucked. So yeah, stressful week all in all. But I've just finished telling Sean and Neil about all of it, so I won't repeat myself.
Oh, man. You don't have to work this weekend because of this, do you?
No, because one good thing about finance is the markets are closed for the weekend. I've got a meeting on Monday. I'm in this thing called the market forecast group where we set forecasts for what I think UK equities are going to do in 3, 5, 10, and 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we have it every quarter, and we were delaying it this quarter until after Brexit. And I've just got like a folder like this thick of shit to read this weekend. So
Oh my
I suppose
God.
I do have to read. I do have to work, but it's not.
But you don't have to go into the office and talk to people and be like, all right, so your money's safe, but...
No, I don't have to do that. No.
Cool. Well then, why don't we start with some recaps? Where did we leave off last week?
All right. I think I'll do it because, Nick, I think you have like 5,000 more XP than me.
Yeah, you should probably do it.
So last week we started off in Clydesdale. Do they make good horses, by the way?
They do.
Okay, that's fitting. All right. So we started off in Clydesdale. We had just slain a chimera and looted its body. We took its head with us, got some dragon scales and a dragon skull, and we sold the dragon skull to one of the temples in town so they could perform auguries and made a good 700 gold off of that. From there, we went up north to Hillsborough. We went to the arena to stop at the gladiator pits and try and hire an actual fighter for the party. But that did not work out as we wanted because the owner of the arena, a dwarf by the name of Redbeard, had been rubbed the wrong way by Malachi in the past and refused to.
Put all the blame on Malachi.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Like it's all his fault. That's just just being objective here.
Yeah.
From there we went off to where did you see the? Was it in a tavern that we saw the Lucio and Titus?
Yes.
Yes, it was a tavern.
So we went to a tavern, saw a couple of armed men, Lucio and Titus, and decided to test them out. Decided that they were very likely fighters, and took them into our party. Told them about our plan to travel across the mountains over to Anvil and rescue a member of a baroness's family who had been kidnapped by the bastards of the Firewood. They came with us. We encountered some ogres in the mountains, and one of the fighters that we hired immediately died, decapitated on the very first attack.
Yeah.
The other one survived. So Lucio, dead. Titus survived. We got out of the mountains, traveled south into the forest, and went to that small unnamed village that had been destroyed that we went outside of when we were last in Anvil. The one with the cathedral that had the reanimating skeletons. We went there, went down into the tomb, and looted the tomb with the mummy inside of it. Luckily, the mummy did not come to life, or we probably wouldn't be here today. And we looted numerous bits of jewelry from the temple. We got a potion of healing, and now we are camped outside of Anvil, waiting for a chance to go in and rescue the daughter of the Baroness and take her back to Shirebrook for a full pardon.
And you have your wagon with you with Jeeves and little Jimmy.
Yeah, how far off is the full moon, by the way?
That's a good question. The full moon is 2 weeks away exactly.
Okay.
Today's the 8th, the full moon's on the 22nd, little Jimmy's transformation will start on the 21st.
Okay. And so we kind of established that we were doing the lycanthropy rules wrong. And I mentioned that like Van Helsing did get information from the town, like from the temple specifically. So would he know that we were doing it wrong?
Yeah, I think we went over this last time, but we can just say you did it right because they failed the saves regardless of the timing of the spell casting.
Okay.
So we'll just say you had the right information, you did it at the right times, but it still failed.
Okay.
But you now know that you have to do it.
Yeah,
what
do
is
it before he transforms. It's like right before he transforms.
Right.
Yeah.
As the sun's going down before the transformation starts.
Okay.
When the
Yes.
demons within start to emerge, you must banish them.
Yeah.
All right, so it's a lovely day. You guys are sitting in your wagon, looking over Anvil. You can see the keep in the middle of it, surrounded by its palisade wall and its 3-story stone building. The town's pretty much how you left it. There's a large halfling population that kind of sprawls out on the northwestern side, kind of in your direction, actually. You'd have to move through the little halfling burrows to get to the actual town itself. You see the banners hanging from the keep are different from last time you were here. They're no longer of Baroness Adina Largewise. They are different banners. They show crossed swords over a shield with a checkerboard white and red pattern.
Okay.
Apparently this is Carrick's sign or Zaren's sign or someone's sign, but it's got new banners and sigils all over it.
So we can see into Anvil.
Yeah, how far away are we now?
I think you guys are on top of the hill, maybe a mile away. So you've got like a nice view of it off in the distance.
Can we see
Maybe
like
half
people
mile.
walking around, like it still has a population?
Yeah. Let's say
Okay,
you're a
so
half mile away and you can still see people moving about in the streets.
Okay.
From your perspective, nothing's changed other than the banners on the castle.
All right.
Well, Van, it looks like we're here. Looks to be the
Yes.
same to me.
It doesn't look like the bastards of the Firewood just came in and murdered all of the residents. They might
Maybe
not
not.
be as outwardly
Yeah.
hostile as we were worried.
Maybe they're accepting. You know, I heard back in Hillsborough that this Carrick chap was looking for mercenaries. It could be a guise for us to get close to him.
Possible. I doubt he would take in mercenaries and trust us right off the bat, though.
No, we might need to do something for him first. The alternative, I think, would be if you head back to that village we just passed, I could spend the day in there under the cover of invisibility and see what I could see, but I imagine it's just an ordinary town. We could avoid perhaps any terrible surprises, though, if we take that way.
Very well. We should How about we ride up to the gate, see if we can go into Anvil without any incident? I imagine if we're allowed entry, we should be able to stay in an inn without trouble.
Anvil is
Yeah.
unwalled, by the way.
Oh, wait, it's unwalled? Okay.
Yeah, so you can
Well-
slip in however you want, whenever you want.
Let's do that then. See if we can find an inn.
Will we be
Yeah.
passing? Will we pass through any villages on the way?
You can. There's not a road, so you're on top of this hill, and you can see villages about, so you can move through them or you can avoid them as you please.
Okay. Okay. How about on the way we stop by one of the villages and knock on a door, see how things are, see what's happening in this region with the bastards of the firewood being in control.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Let's not give too much away though. We don't know how loyal the townsfolk are to this guy.
Yes, we can present ourselves as travelers, ask if it's safe to travel into Anvil.
All right. You make your way to this village. It's a nice, sleepy little village. The center of town is occupied by a rather large cathedral. Surprisingly large for such a small village. But whatever. This is pretty common everywhere. The population seems to be about half human and half halfling. And the farmers in the fields give a stop to watch this carriage rolling in from out of the wilds. You pull into the center of town. Jeeves gives a rap on the back of the carriage to let you know that you've arrived. And as you poke your heads out, there are various townsfolk, villagers, kind of looking at the carriage, like, what's going on here? There's mothers with babes in their arms, and people who are doing laundry and repairing buildings. They'll kind of stop to watch this bizarre occurrence. A carriage coming from the north?
I guess so I don't freak people out, I'll leave like my weapon inside of the carriage when I get out because I'm in the
Yeah. I say to Van, why don't you deal with this? I'll stay here.
That
You're
might
still
be
in your
the
armor
best.
though, Van?
Yeah, I think Van just kind of wears it in the general sense. Very rarely goes without it.
I stop him and say, maybe you should leave your holy symbol, so they can't easily identify you.
Hmm.
As a cleric of cheese.
I kind of I'll take it off and just leave it where I was sitting.
Okay.
And then I jump out of the carriage and I walk up to one of the townspeople and I say, "Hello, can anyone tell me about what's been happening in the region lately? We're travelers on the road and we want to know if Anvil is safe to enter. I understand there's been some political changes recently. Is it still safe for wandering travelers?"
Would you please give me a charisma check?
All right, I'm not in roll 20. I'm never in roll 20. Someday I will get used to this, but I'm just. Oh, I even have to log in.
Oh my god.
I'm just screwing everything up today.
There goes my immersion. Campaign ruined.
Yep, I know. I am the worst.
While you were logging to roll 20,
It's.
watched-
I mean,
Bram Stoker's Dracula last night, as I was telling Nick and Sean earlier. I love that movie. If you want a good, like, serious vampire movie, it's fantastic, except for Keanu Reeves, who's terrible.
Is it a horror film, Neil, or not?
I mean, it's not like a modern horror film, which is mostly slasher films. It's like a good suspenseful movie with weird shit going on. It's an older style horror film.
It's scary though, right? Well, you know.
No, it's not really scary. I would call it more of like a suspense thriller. I don't
Okay.
know. A sexy vampire film with real drama and bad acting from Keanu Reeves, but amazing acting from Anthony Hopkins and Gary Oldman.
Oh no, Van, you roll a 20.
Yeah. So you asked the person, what was it exactly? Is it safe to enter?
I'm saying I understand there's been some changes in the area recently. I want to know if it's safe for just wandering travelers.
Okay. She kind of looks you up and down, sees your armor, kind of backs away with the babe cradled in her arms, goes, Why, yes! Yes, my lord, it's very safe.
Thank you for the information.
She gives like as deep of a curtsy and head bow as she can, but she looks very intimidated.
Okay.
And quickly excuses herself.
All right. I will. Crap. I kind of feel like I might be giving off the wrong impression here, and I jump back into the carriage and say, "I'm not sure the populace is taking too kindly to me, as surprising as that is."
Doesn't sound like you. What's wrong?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm armed, things. I don't know. Perhaps things are tense in these parts.
We're getting such a negative reaction here.
Perhaps we should try a different town. I don't know. Maybe we should just go into Anvil, see what happens.
Is there other villages, Neil? Maybe
Yeah.
you could just ask someone else. Just ask a few people, ask around, see if maybe if everyone treats you like that, then perhaps there's something afoot.
Very well. Should we try a different village or simply stay here?
I don't know. Was there other people you could speak to? How many people did you converse with?
Just the one, but the other. I assume there were like people around who also kind of looked pretty freaked out and tried to, excuse themselves from the situation.
Everyone's watching, most of them from a nice healthy distance. So when you looked around, they were watching you and then maybe like looked away and then you crawled back into the carriage.
Okay. Yeah, let's just go somewhere else. This seems like a village full of buffoons.
Very well. Onward, Jeeves.
Righto. And he takes the carriage down. Do you say another village or straight to Anvil?
I think we can
village.
just stop in another village. Just try
If
and
there is one.
stay safe. Yeah. Like, try not to go not away from Anvil, but if there's one where we can just go along, like not toward it, but not away from it, or just one that's on the way, then that'd be ideal.
Right. Where's our map? I thought this was the right map. It's not the right map.
It's not the right map. This is the original
we go.
map.
There we go. That's it.
Yeah.
This is the right map.
There's no titles though.
One of
this
only
is
three
the
maps.
right map,
actually.
but an old map.
Hmm.
This is back when I was trying. Whatever, it's fine.
All of this, and
Anvil
we've
right
only had
before you.
3 maps. This whole journey.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we didn't need it when we were stranded on that island.
Yeah.
That's the island right here.
Oh, that's
It's
it.
Your little
That's it
island.
right there.
Boop.
Oh, holy shit.
Hobgoblin Island. Or, what was formerly Hobgoblin Island.
No, it's just like small wildlife island.
Hobgoblins are all dead.
Look, we left our mark on this universe. I'm pretty happy about that. If somebody goes to that island, you know what they're gonna find? They're gonna find nothing.
Fuck off.
They'll find like they'll find like a bunch of decayed hobgoblin corpses in a looted room.
Yeah.
All right. Your your carriage pulls into Anvil proper. The town is small and bustling, similar to how you left it. The docks, which are really just like a pier and then a bunch of fishing boats pulled up onto the shore, seem
Okay,
to
so
be
we went to
active.
Anvil then.
I wouldn't call the docks busy, but
Yeah.
but they're still active. There's foreign ships docked here.
Okay.
People give you an inspection as you ride in through town, but again, that's not unusual. Usually, riding in through town on a carriage gets a lot of people looking your way.
Okay.
Well, maybe we should find an inn, and maybe I'll do some investigating. I think if I leave my stuff and leave my hood down, maybe I'll be able to pass as more of a citizen than you.
Very well. I think you would definitely draw less attention than I would in all this jingling metal.
All right, Jeeves. Did we stay at an inn last time, Neil? Like I point him in the direction of the same inn we stayed at.
Yes, I believe you did. Jeeves takes Van and little Jimmy to the inn.
Can I go as well? Because I want to drop off my
Okay.
stuff and.
You all head to the
Logical
inn.
Is it the same innkeeper?
Yes.
All right. I walk in and say, long time no see.
Yes, my lord. Long time no see indeed. Will you be having the same large room as last time?
Sure, if that works for my companions.
Of course. Welcome to the Featherfall. Let me find my
still at
boy and
business.
take your bags.
So I guess we just kind of go about business as usual.
Yeah. He and his child grab your bags, whatever gear that you have, and help you bring them into your rooms.
I want to speak to the innkeeper after we've dropped off all our stuff.
Sure.
Hey there. Seems that everything's still normal inside this inn. I'd have thought. Well, I don't know. I was expecting more things to have changed in Anvil, given the political situation.
Yeah, yes and no. Yes and no.
Carrick is it?
That's what he calls himself.
How is he?
he walks to the inn door and kind of points down towards the main square of town, which you haven't driven through yet.
Yeah.
You take a look out, and you see there are two big spikes with two heads, rotting, decayed heads, resting on them.
These are the Lord and Lady.
Yes, the Baroness and her wife.
Well, you know, political ambition is one thing. How does he treat the townsfolk now that he has the power?
To be honest, I haven't noticed much of a difference.
Yeah. Okay. What about his men?
They're a little violent, a little brutish, but they all stay in the keep, so I haven't had to deal with them too much. There's been some crackdowns, some letters nailed to doors, but
Letters?
there's been no looting, no raping, not an overabundance of violence.
What kind of letters?
I think if you go to the pub, well, any of the pubs really, you'll find a sign nailed to it.
Might check it out then.
Dissent will not be tolerated.
And you said the men stay in the keep? Do they not patrol the streets?
He leaves the city watch to the local town guard, although some of his men do complement them now to oversee activities and make sure nothing is awry. But we've been left mostly to our own devices. To be honest, it's not much of a difference from before.
Who was the captain of the town guard? Is he still alive?
Keldeodrin?
Yeah.
No, she died. Her head was on a spike too. It just fell off recently.
Right. The rest of the town guard, you think are... I lean in. You think they're loyal to Carrick?
Town guard?
Yeah.
I couldn't say about them, my lord. It would be improper for me to speculate on such things. He takes another meaningful look at the spiked heads.
Do you know? I just don't want to say, or do you not know? I respect you if you cannot tell me.
I'm not a guard myself.
Okay. Well, I don't wish to get you into any trouble, my friend, so I'll leave you be. Thanks for the room. And
of course.
My companions and I will be requiring food this evening if you could provide something.
I'll have my wife cook up something good for you. Do you like roast chicken? With rosemary?
That sounds fabulous, yes.
She makes a good rosemary stuffing.
It sounds great. Did you say, is it true that Carrick's been hiring all sorts of mercenaries?
Why, yes indeed, my lord. He's been hiring whoever comes by willing to offer their blades.
Is there any way to get a look at these mercenaries without joining up myself?
I suppose you just have to wait for some... walk up to the keep and look at who's watching the walls. They've been... those that have been accepted have been pressed into service, and...
Okay, well, thanks for the information. I'll be off, but you keep on keeping.
Righto.
Alright, I go and try and liaise with Van.
You find Van with Jeeves and Little Jimmy.
So it looks like the majority of the town guard are still at large, although Carrick has disposed of the knight that commanded them.
The woman we worked with.
Yes, she was loyal. I was hoping that perhaps we could convince her to side with us.
To be honest, from the time that we worked with her, she seemed rather useless.
Useless in battle, perhaps, but a name for men to get behind is always useful. I worry now we could try the same thing, but we would have to give up our hand to see if it would work, and we may find ourselves in chains and without a head.
I don't think taking any drastic action is in our best interest.
Well, I don't
Sometimes
see any other good way of getting into that keep and getting out with this girl.
you have a fantastic way of not being seen, Malachi. I think that might be our best bet in this scenario.
Sneak in and sneak out?
At the very least, I think you could get in there to do some reconnaissance.
Perhaps. You know, I
Find out more about this Kara character. I'll be honest, I have no strong loyalty to the notions of nobility. Perhaps this Kara character is a more noble man than we might think.
Well, the way I see it, the best way inside that keep is to offer our hand in his service. He's got a lot of men, 30 last time I heard, around there. It's a lot of people to keep an eye on. I'm sure we could find an opportunity to cast an invisibility spell and slip off into the darkness, find out where this girl is kept.
Perhaps we should consider offering temporary services. I'm not sure I'd want to swear myself into a service, but we could talk about doing odd jobs for him.
Yes. You know, he's been attracting mercenaries from all over the land. I do believe the last time we were in Anvil, we had a couple of mercenaries, if you'll remember. Clifford, I believe, and his shorter friend. Now, this might be a long shot, but perhaps he finds himself here again.
It's possible. I'm not sure how I'd feel about bringing Clifford along. Last time we worked with him, he was a bit of a loose cannon. I never mentioned this to you, but I had to cast a charm spell on him to keep him in town slightly.
All right.
Gone completely off the deep end otherwise.
He never caused us any personal danger, though. Well,
He could
outside
have
of...
very easily.
He was a good fighter, though. One that we could...
He was a good fighter, but I think Titus may fill that role quite well.
Perhaps. Clifford had an iron sword, if I
Speaking
believe.
of, you haven't seen Titus since you guys came into the inn. He was walking alongside the carriage, and now that you've unpacked your things, he's nowhere to be found.
So he was
Talking
here when
about-
we came into Anvil?
Yeah, he was with you when you came into Anvil. He was with you when you came into the inn, but he's not in this conversation, and
Okay.
he's not around anywhere.
I will start looking around a little bit for him whenever we finish our conversation. We're still talking now, but whenever that ends, I think Ben's first thing will be to look around a little bit for him.
Yeah, maybe I even say, you know, hey, where is the old brute?
Now that you mentioned it, I haven't seen him in a little bit. I'll go look for him, but first we should figure out what we're going to do.
Or maybe just go and look for him now. I mean, he knows a lot about what we're doing here. I told you that we didn't know we could trust this guy. Just go and see if he's still around. I'm sure there's nothing of it. I'll just go and check outside. I just go and step outside the front door and, you know, look up and down the street.
I'll look around a little bit too.
You guys don't see him.
Just doesn't sit well with me, Van.
Perhaps it might be best to find a new inn.
We're in a carriage. I don't know how well we can hide. Jeeves. Where is Jeeves? Is he in the room?
He's standing right behind you.
Jeeves, can you and Jimmy stay here and if me and Van go and hang out somewhere else?
Of course.
I don't know how to tell you to get in touch with me, but if anything bad happens, then try
Leave right away, right?
try and let me know.
Oh, come looking. Okay, yes, my lord.
Yeah, like if anyone comes looking for us.
To be honest, he might be better off leaving town, heading to one of the outlying villages. We don't.
That's not a bad.
There's
That's not
no
a bad
reason
idea.
to stay here.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Van. Jeeves, would you take Jimmy in the carriage and head to one of these villages?
Here,
Oh, I was kind of looking forward to a nice feather bed for a night, sir.
tell you what, Jeeves, and I'm gonna hand him 5 gold here and say, keep whatever's left over from your, whatever you pay for rooming and eating while you're gone.
Right? Come on, little Jimmy. It's time to get you drunk. They hop in the carriage and take off.
We get the name of the, we point him to a village.
Yeah, he
we
says,
can
I'll be
find
at the
him.
next village over.
Okay.
All right, let's see if we can find somewhere else. I'm going to speak to the bartender. Look, this is a nice place you've got here, but I'm going to have to find somewhere else.
Is there a problem? Is the cat in your room again?
It's-
That
it's-
rascally
it's no-
cat.
It's no big problem. It's just,
We,
you know what?
we think we may be staying in the keep.
Oh.
We're not quite sure what we plan on doing yet. We just got into town. We maybe booked our room prematurely.
No, I'm sorry. It's a misunderstanding. Yeah. Please, how much is it for a night?
3 silver.
Very well. Here, look. I'll give you my 3 silver.
You're most kind.
Yes. We apologize for the inconvenience. We'll collect our things and go.
It's okay. I'll have my boy get him.
I lean in to shake his hand, and in my hand I've got a gold piece. And I say, look, if anyone comes asking for us, we've left town.
And you were headed which way?
To Shirebrook.
Of course.
All right. Right, Van, let's go. So, should we find another inn?
Once we're outside, I say, let's walk the streets for a little while. Maybe not settle down quite yet.
Okay.
You guys can begin to take in the sights of the town. You begin to take in the smells and instantly regret it.
While we're looking around, I think I want to keep an eye out for Titus. See if he's anywhere to be seen along the streets.
Okay. Okay. What are you guys looking for?
Do I see any... Sorry, Van, go on.
No, you go ahead first. I'm not really quite sure what to do yet.
Do I see any, like, patrols?
You do. You see a patrol of 2 town guards. Or what looks like 2 town guards.
Do they have the same uniform on?
They don't really have a uniform. This town is kind of poor.
Okay,
So
I
it's just
try.
like a couple of guys walking. They've got some armor. They've got like a leather jerkin on, and they're carrying spears. And they're chatting comfortably with one another.
Try and eavesdrop on their conversation. Just, you know, like if they're walking down the road, then I'll wait for them to pass me and then walk perpendicular to them and like walk cut behind them and try and listen to what they're talking about.
Okay.
I'll probably only get a few seconds worth of.
Right. They are talking about how annoying the Carrick's men are when they accompany them on patrols. How they feel like they're being, you know, someone's watching over their shoulder and observing their movements and kind of judging them or like presuming their guilt. It's just frustrating having other people looking over your shoulder while you're doing your job.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let them pass. Did I get a look at their faces?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I try and commit their faces to memory in case I want to pick them out. Perhaps.
Okay.
I go back to Van. Well, from what I've just heard them talking about, it seems like there's some slight discontent between Carrick's men and the Old Town Guard. Now, I think we've got 3 options, right? We try and organize some sort of revolt. We try and sneak in and sneak back out. Or we join Carrick and try and complete our mission from the inside. I think we have to make a decision on which one we're going to do pretty quickly.
Well, I think we can combine 2 and 3, to be honest. We could always infiltrate and then use your magic to sneak in and save the girl.
Yes. No, I agree. Well, with that in mind, then perhaps we should we need to be careful that Titus isn't selling us out to Carrick. If he's there right now, giving him our description and our intentions, then the second we walk into that keep, we'll find ourselves in chains.
I'm not sure Titus would outright betray us like that, but it's possible.
I'm not sure how you could be so certain.
I think it's possible. I'm not ready to immediately condemn him.
No, sure, of course, but I'm not ready to risk my life on the back of that trust.
Of course.
I think we spend a night and keep an eye on that inn and see if any guards come knocking on there.
Are you able to go invisible today?
Yes.
Perhaps you could wait outside the inn, keep an eye out for Titus.
Okay. Yeah, that seems reasonable.
If you see him, you can take him aside.
All right. Look, you go get checked into, and I point to the closest inn get a couple of rooms. I'll see you back there later tonight.
Very well.
And I want to find an alley then and cast.
Sure, Van. The closest inn is halfway out of closest inn is halfway out of town. It is called the. Where is it? It's called the Homestay, and it is a halfling-sized building with halfling-sized rooms.
It's just what I accompany Van there. It's just one night. If everything seems to check out, then we'll go to the keep tomorrow.
I mean,
Okay,
the building,
hold on.
like, it's like 4 feet tall inside.
Yeah. So there's only 2 inns in town?
Yeah. One sized for humans, one sized for halflings. This is a podunk town out in the middle of nowhere.
All right, here's my suggestion then. I'm going to say to Malachi, you should head back to the inn and wait for Titus, see if you can find him. And then tonight, rather than stay in an inn, since it would be very weird if we simply returned again, we can go to the keep.
Okay. Well, I mean, find some way to busy yourself then.
Sure, I'll look around, see what I can find around Anvil.
Or maybe if you could find a natural way of doing it, if you could strike up a conversation with some of the old town guard.
I think I could do that. I could also try wandering around the keep a little bit, see if Titus is anywhere near there.
Yeah, but it could look suspicious.
I don't think walking. I mean, okay, so Neil, the keep is like adjacent to the town buildings, right?
It
So
is
if I were just walking-
it's near the center of town.
Right. So if I were just walking the streets around the keep, it'd be normal, right?
There are
Nothing-
people walking around the set. Yeah, there's people
Yeah.
on the streets selling merchandise. People walking all the way around it.
Okay.
All right.
And I think I'm gonna walk around. Yeah, I think that's what I'll walk around the keep. Just kind of keep an eye out, see if I see Titus anywhere.
All right. Well, look.
Malachi's, I assuming, going invisible and waiting outside the inn.
Yeah, if you'll just accompany me with me to an alley or something and guard it so that there's no one watching while I cast it.
Sure. And I go into an alley.
Sure. So, Van Helsing, while you do your patrol of the wall, you don't see Titus anywhere, but you do notice that there are 2 guards on the gate, and there are 3 guards on the wall. Each one seems to be patrolling a section of the wall. So you got the 2 guards in the front, one on the right side, one on the left side, and one on the back side, just kind of patrolling the walls. At least during the daytime, that's how it looks.
How big are the walls?
15 feet, and they are palisades, so they can just come to a spike, and they're stripped bare. It would be difficult to climb it without a rope. Probably,
Yeah.
for an unskilled thief, probably impossible.
Okay. Then I guess I'll just make those rounds for a while, and then after a while, we don't really know where we're meeting back up, so I think Van's going to assume he's going to walk by the inn toward the end of the day,
Sure.
and then that's where Malachi will pull him aside. So just whatever Malachi's doing during the day then.
Yeah, I just hang around the inn. You know, maybe I'll walk a minute or so down the road every now and again, but I've always got my eye on it. I'm just looking for Titus. I mean, he's meant to be returning to the inn, so it'd be suspicious if he doesn't come back.
About 45 minutes later, hanging out around the inn, you see Titus stumbling back to the inn. He has a drink in hand and is singing a song.
I cast. No, I don't. Oh, wait, I just watch him. What does he do?
He stumbles back to the inn and goes, "Innkeeper! Where are my friends? I must tell them about the wonderful women you have here." The innkeeper proceeds to tell him, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. They left town. They went to Shirebrook. They were in a hurry."
At least we can trust the innkeeper.
Titus goes, "What? Did they leave my stuff? Oh, shit!" Drops his beer in the street, runs upstairs. Did you guys take his stuff?
I follow him upstairs.
Okay. The
And I
innkeeper's
follow him into
following
his
as
room.
well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did you guys take his stuff or did you leave his stuff? I got the impression you took all your things.
Yeah, so
What?
I took my things as we were getting out. I guess we probably have it.
Yeah, I think so because the
I wouldn't-
innkeeper
yeah,
had
I
his
checked
boy
out the room,
carry
I wouldn't keep his
bags.
stuff there. Or maybe we would have left it with the. Okay, this is up to you, but we might have left it with the innkeeper. On the account of like it's not ours, so maybe we left it with him because we knew Titus was probably going to come back here.
Right, I think, but the innkeeper sent his boy to move everything for you guys.
Right. Okay, then
so
yeah,
I think
we
the,
probably
guy,
have
the
his
boy
stuff.
didn't know. So Titus comes back, finds his stuff is gone, and just goes, "God! Gods be damned! They've taken my stuff! Oh, I've almost got nothing to spare. At least I've got a few coins.
Is he at any point in this alone?
The innkeeper's standing by tepidly while Titus rages, and eventually the innkeeper assures him that he's got his room for the night, that you guys paid for it, and it's okay. He's welcome to stay. Please don't break anything. And the innkeeper excuses himself while Titus sits down on the bed and holds his hand in his head, going, "My weapons! Everything!
From the
Fucking
other side of the
bastards."
room. From the other side of the room, I say, Titus, it's Malachi, don't panic. I'm here, I'm invisible. Look, you gave us a fright.
Where are you?"
I'm right here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, there you are. Okay.
Yeah, okay, all right. Watch it with the hands.
Sorry.
I say, look, we weren't sure if you were selling us out to Carrick. We had to take precautions, but we're both still here. His stuff's with us, or with Jeeves. He's taking it.
Selling you out to Carrick?
Look, man, I don't know. I don't know you very well. All right.
I was just down at the honey pot.
Yeah, I'm sure, but the last group of people that we hung out with, one of them got killed by an ogre, and all of a sudden it's my fault. I don't know if you're not doing the same thing. Yeah, it's a long story. I mean, I think it's just because he's a dwarf. Don't worry about it. Yes, I know. Look, while this spell's still active, I'm going to go see if I can do some reconnaissance on the keep or whatever. But you just
Wait. Are you naked? I can't see your clothes.
No, I know. You can't see anything, though. It's the spell. I have to be naked for it to work.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I said, watch it with the hands.
Oh, right. Well, then... Well, then I guess I'll just,
Look, Van might come back here. Can you keep an eye out for him?
Sure.
Just get a drink or whatever. I'm sure the innkeeper's got some wine or whatever he'll sell you. Here's a few coins. I'm gonna give him like 5 silver.
Where'd those come from? I thought you were naked.
I am. Well, you don't want to know where I keep them.
He smells the coins a little bit. Puts them in a pocket.
There's plenty more where that came from. All right, look.
That's the way it feels against his skin.
Keep an eye out for Van. I'll be back. If he turns up, tell him to come here. It's safe. All right. I don't want to leave. Actually, I head to the keep. I mean, I might see Van along the way, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. You get to the keep. The doors are shut. There are 2 guards outside, chatting with each other about a village girl that they both seem to have a crush on.
All right. And do they have... They don't have uniforms either?
No.
Do I
Their
walk
armament
around?
is slightly different than the town guard, though.
In what way?
The town guard has leather armor with spears. These guys have... Let me find my list here. They have studded leather with a shield and short swords.
Okay. So do I notice the difference?
Yes.
So the assumption is that these are Carrick's men
Yes.
guarding the keep, like the innkeeper said.
Yes.
Is the gate open?
No.
I walk around the keep a bit and look for Van.
I think you probably run into Van somewhere in the streets. The town's not that big.
Sure. So I say to him, look, Carrick turned up drunk. He's back at the inn. I think he'd just been to a brothel or something. But you should probably go and relax or whatever. I'm going to wear out the rest of the spell and see if I can find anything.
All right. I will probably go to one of the taverns in town. I'm going to see if I can get some information.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay.
Van, when you approach a tavern, let's say you end up at the Sloppy Ale House, you notice nailed to the front door, which is shut, is a sign that says, dissent will not be tolerated. It's just like on a piece of parchment that has been nailed to the door.
Is that all that's on it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to head on inside. And I say, I'll get a few drinks and drink for a little bit. And I want to kind of strike up conversation with the innkeeper. And I say, so I noticed that notice nailed to your door.
Aye.
Tell me, I mean, surely there's a reason they do this. Do you know what the Bastards of the Fire would fight for?
They talk about equality and justice. How they got screwed over by the nobles after they fought in the Hamdakos incursion against the Grell. They came back and found their lands taken away, their families driven out, given up for dead, not even given the pay they were offered.
And
They
now
talk
seek
noble
to-
reasons, but they've... Well, yeah.
I ask. We're mercenaries in town, and we're always looking for work. I try to make sure that I give my work to good men.
Well, they're principled men. That's for sure.
That's good to hear. Okay. So that's... All right. I think after a little while of drinking, I'll probably head back to the Feather Down and walk in and say to the innkeep, we forgot to bring one of our friends with us. Is he here?
You say to who?
The innkeeper. Back at the Feather Down.
About Titus?
Yeah.
He says, yes he is. I told him exactly what you said, that you went to Shirebrook.
Oh, thank you very much. That won't be necessary anymore. We were simply trying to be, better safe than sorry. When somebody goes wandering off on you, it's easy to assume the worst. But we thank you for your discretion. I'm actually going to slide him another gold piece.
He's making off very well today.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So I actually need to drop 6 total. And then, so I'm going to head upstairs and just going to meet up again with Titus. And then I guess we'll kind of kill the day until Malachi comes back.
Sure. That evening, you all reconvene.
All right, Neil. So here's what I want to do though with the rest of the day. Okay.
Yes.
I've got an ESP spell. Okay. So what I'm hoping for, I'm trying to catch people in like the guards maybe in an argument, or maybe there's like someone coming up to the gate and there's like an interesting conversation going on. I'm trying to look for a decent opportunity to cast that spell. I'm just going to use it at the first chance that is. So if I see like the guards like arguing with a peasant or arguing with each other, or if somebody comes up to the gate and starts talking to them, I'm going to use it then.
Does it need to be an argument at the gate or just a conversation?
A conversation would do, yeah.
Yeah, you
Maybe
definitely
if
see
he's close
someone.
enough to listen in, he could probably like hear something if he thinks it goes into an interesting direction.
Yeah.
I mean, there's someone comes up to the gate a few hours later. They are pulling a cart behind them that is stacked with cloth.
Okay. And
Folded
what gets said? Does he just let them in, or is that
Yeah,
more to
the
it?
guy says he's coming to deliver the clean laundry that's been washed. The guards pick through the cloth, make sure no one's hiding in it, take a look under the cart, and then knock on the door for someone to open it from the other side. Door gets opened. Cart
They
gets
do
pulled
check
in.
under it and stuff, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Cart gets pulled in, and the door gets shut behind it.
How much time was there when the door was open? Like enough time. If I'd wanted to, I could have snuck in.
If you were, as an invisible person, you easily could have snuck in that time.
All right. I don't cast a spell then if that's all that happens in that incident. Well, I just wait at the gate then. Does anything else happen? Does the cart come back out?
Yeah, the cart comes back out maybe an hour and a half later.
Okay.
There's not a lot of flow between the keep and the town. It seems pretty limited.
Sure. Okay, then I'll just make my way back to the inn once the sun starts to set.
Okay. The two of you are together at the inn with Titus.
I cancel my inn visit at some point, obviously.
Titus has since asked about little Jimmy and Jeeves, and I'm sure you guys informed him of all their movements and disappearances.
Yeah.
But now that the three of you are back together, and in your a room with the door shut, he leans in close and goes, "All right. So what's the plan? Huh? Are we assaulting the keep head on?"
No, I'd rather keep my head on my body.
Good
Yeah,
call.
that seems like suicide,
Yeah.
Titus.
Seems like that wouldn't go very well.
I think our best approach may be to it seems that the keep. So I walked by the keep before you showed up, Malachi, and they seem to keep the door closed and only open it for people who are allowed entry. I think our best bet may be to seek an audience with Garrick.
Yeah, I was watching it, and somebody brought a cart full of laundry, and then the cart came back and left again an hour and a half later. I could have used that time to sneak in. So if the plan were for me to sneak in alone and try and sneak out with the princess, it's possible. Getting in and getting out is possible, but
My thought, at the very least, is we could get inside of the keep. You could cast another invisibility tomorrow. I could go up to the gate and talk about being here as the representative of a mercenary group, looking to do a little bit of work if anyone needs to be hired.
I think we're better off just...
What I'm saying is you come invisible, and if they let me in, you can sneak in and use it as a chance to do reconnaissance while I meet with Carrick.
Yeah, but then at that point, it's too late for me to attempt to be a legitimate mercenary. I genuinely believe the three of us go there together and offer our services, and they'll probably let us into the keep and put us on guard duty probably after a couple of days. I mean,
Not
that
gonna
seems like
put
our
you
best
on
chance.
guard duty. Look
Well,
at you. You're skin and
But,
bones. You're a terrible fighter.
yeah, you're
Malachi,
probably right.
You don't need to come with me for this. I can say that you're back outside the gates. In fact, I could go alone without Titus.
Yeah, but then how do I gain access? I think...
You go invisible and come in when I go in.
Yeah, but I just think that there's no advantage to being invisible. I think that it's easy to hide in plain sight if they think that we're working with them. I genuinely believe that we should, all three of us, just offer our services and hang out there for a day or two and observe the comings and goings of the people and see if we can find out whether the Baroness's daughter is being kept, and then hatch a plan from there.
You
We
know,
might even find ourselves on guard duty together.
it's not a bad idea. We could always go and offer to work for him, and if things don't pan out, we could always just leave, never come back to Anvil again.
Yeah, I think this is the best. I think maybe we just go tomorrow morning.
Very well.
All right. And with that, why don't we take our first break? We'll see you guys on the other side of our show. Bye-bye.